Daf Tzadi, sponsored for a refuah shalema for Bava Bas Chaya Rivka. The freedom of the wife's nichsei mulug slaves. There are two conflicting brises in the Gemara, whether they go free b'shem va'ayin. One brisa holds only if she blinds the slave or knocks out his tooth. If the husband does it, the slave doesn't go free. Again, we're talking about where the husband has the right to work the slave, but the principal ownership is the wife. So one brisa says only if she knocks out a tooth or blinds him in one eye. The other brisa says neither her nor her husband can free them. Now, either the argument here is that one brisa is before the takana susha, so she is the principal owner, she can free him, and the husband, the fact that he has a right to work the slave doesn't interfere with her ability to sell based on her ownership. The other would be where she cannot free him, that's referring to after the takana. Or possibly, according to Rava, both are after the takana. However, freeing a slave undermines a lien similar to consecrating a lien on a loan, or, for example, something that became asur b'hana, like chametz, that was collateral for a loan. In that case, the Gaisha creditor would have to collect after Pesach from something else. The same thing here, when the slave is freed b'shem va'ayin, it undermines the lien of the husband. According to the other brisa, the takana strengthens the husband's lien. This is similar to another argument between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda, where one sold his slave retaining service for an additional 30 days. The question is, who benefits from the law of Yom or Yomayim? Who, in fact, is the master of the slave? Meir holds, since the verse says, Umeis tachas yado, it is the first master who he presently serves. If the slave, after being abused by the master, lives for more than 24 hours, he is exempt from execution. Rabbi Yehuda holds it is the new master, since the verse says kikaspohu. Rabbi Meir holds where the husband has rights to work the slave, it is his, and the wife's blinding him would not free him. However, Rabbi Yehuda would hold hers is the principal ownership, and if she blinds him, the slave goes free. There is also the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer that the Gemara brings. He holds that neither have rights to sell the nichsei mulug because no one is an absolute owner. According to him, kikaspohu means he has to be the owner, the sole owner of the property. Now we come to the laws of the next Mishnah. One who punches one in the ear or shouts in one's ear, according to the Tanakama, pays a seller for humiliation. According to Rabbi Yehuda, pays 25 times as much, a mana. The Gemara explains it is a mana tsuri that was pure silver, not a mana medina, which was 1 part silver and 7 parts copper. The second din is, if he slapped one on the cheek with the palm of his hand, he pays 200 zuz for humiliation. The back of his hand, he pays 400. The third halacha is if one pulled another's hair or ear, spit on his body, removed even his outer garment, removed the woman's hair covering, he pays 400 zuz. The rule is, in the Mishnah, the greater the honor, the greater the compensation. According to Rabbi Akiva, even the poor are judged and viewed as those that had money and lost money. According to Rabbi Akiva, even if a woman was motivated to remove her hair covering in public, it would not exempt the perpetrator. It is no different than one who mutilates himself, although not permitted, does not exempt another. One who is not allowed to destroy his property, for example, uproot his own trees, as an Isser Bal Tashchis, and if he does so, it still does not exempt the damage of another. Next halacha is, can a witness be a judge? The Gemara brings a Maisa that Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah decided a case to pay a mana tsuri upon witnessing one punch another in the ear. However, there is a brisa that says, even if the Sanhedrin witnessed the murder, according to Rabbi Tarfon, some of the judges, some of those witnesses, some of the Sanhedrin have to be judges, and others witnesses. You can't have a witness being a judge. Whereas Rabbi Akiva holds all must be witnesses. The reason is they witnessed this at night. Since they could not try the murderer at night, only during the day when they did not see the incident, they must hear testimony from witnesses. Their witnessing only has value at the time of the trial. During the day, however, one can judge on the basis, even though he's a witness, he can judge on the basis of Shaloi Sehei Shmiya Gedola Miri'iyah. One who sees should not be any less than one who hears. Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya witnessed the victim being punched during the day, and therefore he was allowed as a witness to also adjudicate the case. According to the second answer of the Gemara, that Ha'ana, Rabbi Yossi Aglili, means he holds like Rabbi Yossi Aglili, then the distinction of day and night does not apply. A witness can never be a judge. The pasuk says, "V'chiyurivun anoshim v'hika ish esriyehu be'evan o be'egrov." One who hits somebody with his fist or with a rock. Shimon HaTimni explains the verse as saying, just as a fist can be examined, so the weapon used, like a rock, must also be available to the judges to determine whether it could have done the damage or not. Rabbi Akiva disagrees. He says we must rely on witnesses to assess the weapon used, since even the weapon will not suffice to determine the extent of the damage, since he did not hit the person in court. Apparently, if the perpetrator hit his opponent in court, the judges could rule. This contradicts Rabbi Akiva's previous assertion that a witness cannot be a judge. The Gemara answers, he argued the illogical aspect of Shimon HaTimani's exegesis.